Excellent. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're listening to this, you're actually affiliated either with Lisa or myself. And so just let me introduce you. Lisa M. O'Neill. How are you, Lisa?
I'm very well. How are you?
Really good, thanks. And I'm Fran X Heath, if you haven't met me before. So, welcome everyone today. We're going to have a little bit of a conversation and sort of just really, really off the cuff and casual, actually. And we're going to make it about 30 minutes. And the reason being is because Lisa and I have actually become affiliated through an area that we actually had absolutely no idea both of us were in. So we actually met at our neurotransformational therapy coaching training a few months ago, or 2 months ago, was it?
Yeah, about 2 months ago down in Sydney.
Yeah, yep.
Amazing,
So it was amazing. Oh my gosh, the energy was phenomenal.
wasn't it ever? As soon as those doors opened, boom, the energy was there. We felt it, felt every moment.
It so was. It was brilliant. And one of the things at the NTT, so neurotransformational therapy course, was it brought a real eclectic mix of people together. So Lisa and I met there, and very later, not knowing that we were actually in the same high ticket affiliate marketing company, which was quite funny. We're watching each other's socials, being in contact with each other, and I thought, hang on a minute, oh, what's going on here? And you're a bit the same, weren't you, Lisa?
Absolutely. I'm like, and we should have known when we were there, but I think there was a reason why we didn't know at the time because we would have probably just hung out together and not met all the beautiful souls that we ended up meeting that weren't affiliated with it. So yeah, things always happen for a reason, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a lot of people sort of question, why have I gone to NTT, so neurotransformational therapy, as well as running a high ticket affiliate marketing company, and Lisa's in very much the same boat. They actually work really beautifully hand in hand. So if you can imagine running a business, maybe for the first time, there's some limiting beliefs, there's some self sabotaging that's happening in your own subconscious, and we alleviate that so you can then do the entrepreneurial work that you can, because 80% of your success in anything in life is the inner work, and 20% is business. But before we actually go into that, Lisa, I would love, you've told me a bit about your story, and I've just found it really fascinating, and a lot resonates, and I think everyone would love to hear it. So do you want to just give us a bit of a rundown on your story?
Absolutely. Well, as we all know in life, there's always so many elements and so many things that get to be layered, I guess, and the reasons why we end up doing the things that we do. So, in my case, I did come from a little bit of a corporate background, been in retail all my life as well. So there's a mix of both of those in here. But in my corporate world, I just did a stint for about 12 months. And I came into the business, into admin, as it were, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed my position for the first 6 months. And then things turned south pretty quickly for me. I ended up doing the roles of two people, and got severely burnt out, and the the hierarchy, so to speak, put it back on me and said, "Listen, if you don't think that you can do your job, we'll find someone else who can." And that kind of really hit
So
home because
frustrating,
I
isn't
was
it?
really working my butt off. Like I
Mm.
really worked so hard, always gave 110% as everybody does. And yeah, that really, really hit home. And with that, she gave me the weekend to think about it. And I came home and I discussed it with my husband. I thought, you know what, I've got this. I can do this. And because I'm not a giver upper, I just keep going. We um, goal setters do that.
Yeah, and you're
And I
definitely a
went back.
powerhouse, because even at like NTT, like the energy that was coming out of you was phenomenal. It was attracting, I loved it.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly a much happier person now, than what I was then. It wasn't nice what they put you through sometimes in corporate, and it's just ticking and flicking boxes. That's all it really is. So I ended up making a call and I got out of there, for my mental health.
Mm.
I had suffered quite deeply on that note, and it wasn't a pleasant time.
Mm.
It really wasn't. It wasn't nice. My children didn't even want to speak to me. I'd come home from work and they would go the opposite way. And I just don't feel that that's what's life. Life is not meant to be like that, you know? And it hurts me to think that I became that person just because I was surrounded by those types of people, toxic people in that environment that ran them into the ground. They were actually really beautiful people and highly successful, but because of the systems that are in place, it actually ran us all into the ground. So I got myself out of there, but then at the detriment to our bank account, we actually lived off our savings for a couple of months while I found something else to go to. So I needed something pretty desperately. I
The
went back
line
to
was
an
drawn in the
older,
sand.
yeah, it really was, you
Mm.
know, and I went back to an older job, and while I was rebuilding, my old boss was so beautiful and said, you know, just take your time, whatever you need, we're here for you. He said, I understand that this is not the be all or end all because I was on the move. Like I knew that I was destined for more things. Sometimes you just know that calling, right? So while I was finding that, they nurtured me back into somewhere where I felt calm and loved, wanted, and all of those beautiful things. So, and then I just have to say, I walked out. I was a bit frustrated one night. And let me know if you've ever done this. I walked out my back door and I looked up to the universe and I just said, I need a change. I'm over this. I would
Could be
swear, but I'm
something.
trying not to swear in this. Like, please show me a sign. I need something in my life right now that's going to take me to new levels. I am destined for more, and you bloody well know it. Like, I know it. And I kid you not, the very next day I was going through my scroll on my Facebook, and there was this beautiful offer that we will talk about shortly. And it came from somebody who I know very well and loved and still do love very dearly. And she's actually a school teacher herself. And so I'm thinking, wow, she wouldn't be doing this if it was a scam or if it was not legit or anything. She would have done her homework on it. So I looked into it. I said, you know, hit me up with it. Tell me what it's all about. And just being that open to what possibilities was out there. And I'm thinking, this has got to be a sign. So I'm definitely going to action it a little bit and just see. I went through to the discovery call and just found out as much information as I could. But Fran, I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, I've got
Let's
one question though
let's
for
talk
you,
about how you.
Lisa.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so can you just sort of tell me with NTT, so neuro
yeah.
transformational therapy, how did that support you in making the choice to go to, entrepreneurial work, onto starting your own coaching business? And because it sounds as though there, and we've had this discussion before around, uh, that place that you were in at that time when life seemed really overwhelming and that line was getting drawn in the sand with finances, with your work situation. How did NTT
Yeah.
sort of help you to transform into someone that had that courage to go, yep, I'm going to do this entrepreneurial work?
Yeah. Well, it happened a little bit the opposite way around for
Mm.
me, which is interesting because
It
normally
is.
it's the other way around. You come across um, this type of therapy to work with to remove those limiting beliefs and the blockages and the negative emotions associated. However, for me, I was in a place of my spiritual journey,
Mm.
and I had been saying no to so much prior to this. So I just knew that I had to start saying yes
Mm.
to some opportunities. All right. So when this came up, I couldn't say no.
Mm.
So I started working one on one with a coach. And by saying yes to 6 weeks or 12 weeks as it were for me, one on one coaching, I was able to be gifted a ticket to go to Sydney
Mm.
for the neurotransformational therapy with
That's
Luke
right. Yeah.
Hawkins, the
Wow.
amazing Luke Hawkins. And that's how I ended up there.
What a
And
gift.
look, it was just a whole series of saying yes to me for a
Mm.
change.
Yeah.
just welcoming whatever was coming to me, saying yes. And I encourage everyone who haven't been doing that, just to start doing it and just see what doors open. And I believe if you are seeing this offer right now and you've actually said yes to getting the Zoom link on this, you're on that path anyway.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And
So
there's
that's how
so
I
many
came
people
about.
just on that edge, aren't they? And they just need that little bit of courage and support and nurturing, and to be held in that space to actually say, yep, I'm
Yeah,
ready, you know?
absolutely. And I think by then doing the work associated, I knew that there was a lot of layers there that hadn't been healed from my
Mm,
past traumas, and everybody's got them. Let's be honest.
absolutely.
Every single person has them. So once we start peeling back those layers, which is what that therapy does, then your opportunities arise.
Mm.
You are more open to um, looking at your flaws and improving on them as well. And yeah, the sky's the limit. Like it
And coming from a
really just
heart-centered space, I think a more
heart-centered
heart-centered,
space.
authentic space. Mm,
Correct. You work out who you are as a person,
absolutely.
and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. And what you just tapped on there, Lisa, and I might go into my story a bit, is around finding out who you are. So a bit about my story was, I've always been quite the workaholic. Work. And, we're conditioned to think that success is having that high leading position, or having the house, or having the work ethic that's really strong. And, you do your long hours and you get success.
Yeah.
And so for years, I've been in leadership roles, I've coached, I've mentored, but it comes from quite a funny space, from quite a heart-centered space. And that was not being able to have my own children, having a lot of health issues in that area, and still having a lot of health issues in that area. So for me, I threw myself into work, which wasn't just about being successful. It was actually about dissociating a little bit, dissociating from, I want that family, I want that home life, I want to be that mum, but I can't. So I'm just going to throw myself into work. And I stepped into working with children from detention centres and refugee children and kids with emotional behaviour disorders, and my impact wasn't great enough. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, but I'm such a happy-go-lucky person. I'm so driven. I found that I could only work with so many kids, and so that impact was just those who I primarily had access to. So then I started working with teachers and going into education, and into leadership, doing big community sort of projects, working with trauma informed practice. And it all sounds great, right? It all sounds like, oh, she's going so well. And if you looked on paper, yeah, I was going well. But there was a few things that didn't fit my value set. And that was, we talk about, like, is what we're in this pyramid scheme, is what we're in this scam. But we're definitely not a pyramid scheme. But what's more of a pyramid scheme than working in an organization of systems and processes where you become the boss and you have to watch these amazing staff, because you have the most brilliant staff, and they have such potential to lead and have such potential to be, larger than life, but it's capped. And so you train them and mentor them and coach them, and you're like, yes, be this go-getter. And then you're like, oh, hang on, sorry, we can't actually do that because it doesn't fit the systems and processes, doesn't fit the protocols that we've
Correct.
got, or you're
Mm,
going to be working well above your pay level, you're going to burn yourself out.
yeah.
So that was quite crushing. And then also in that, I had to become someone that was quite, well, you're in very conservative, and the thing is, I've got my little pink blazer on today. It's the first day I've had it on for a really, really long time, because to be honest, what I do love, I'm a surfy beach girl. And I'm either in the ocean or, barefoot and on the beach. And so it's, and obviously you've got to turn up in a certain way, and you've got to be a certain person. But my line in the sand was having some really traumatic times in where I was working, and really seeing where things were breaking down, and my leadership roles was more and more and more demanding. So my 12 to 14-hour days wasn't cutting it, and my physical health really was impacted. So to the point where I had like heart attack and stroke like symptoms. Right side of my body sort of gave way. And I realized that I could not keep working at the level that I was working, because it wasn't serving me at all, you know. And whilst I had that really great position, I was really unhappy. I was really lonely. I was called to work in quite isolated areas, or areas away from my loved ones, um, away from the coast, which is my sanity. And
Yeah.
yeah, so when my physical body just started to really crumble, so did my mental health. So over quite an extended period of time, I had to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of inner work. I've always done that. I'm a yoga teacher as well, and done a lot of breath work throughout, and meditation through my whole life. But it just, something was amiss. So with all the trauma that had I'd been exposed to, and a lot of things that, you know, had happened in my family as well, which I'd I'd tell more on a one-on-one, you know, or in a little group situation. But my life had become quite traumatic, and I didn't understand accumulative trauma. I really didn't. I was like, you know, I'm this amazing, resilient person. I'll just get on with it. But physically, no, it just collapsed. So that's how I found NTT work, neurotransformational therapy. And then I went into the business because of the health aspect. So a very good friend of mine, who was my personal trainer years ago, also my nutritionist, she had introduced me quite some time ago, and I'd called her in actually dire straits saying, I need your help. My health has really declined. And so therefore I then went into an AGIC. So and
Oh.
then realizing the most amazing potential that it has, and what I could do, and what I could lead, and what I could build for people, I went into the business. Yeah. So what should we start with, Lisa? Should we start with explaining the NTT, neurotransformational therapy, or our business? What do
No,
you
I'm a
think?
bit excited about the Enagic stuff,
Me too.
because I know we bang on about the NTT stuff, but let's dive into Enagic, shall we? Because it's
Yeah,
such a
absolutely.
great business model. Yeah.
It is a great business model. So uh, we've only been in it for not that very long at all, and already, you know, there's a saying, you know, uh, find your vibe, find your tribe. And it is
Yeah.
so true. So you look at the connections that Lisa and I have. So we've really only been connected for a couple of months, and we've been in contact. It's like I've known her, I've known you for forever. And these are the relationships that we form, I think, because we're just us, you know, and we just come as we are, and we are such a different group. And so this year was a 50-year anniversary of Enagic, and I had the privilege of plus 800 people from Australia
Yeah.
as well.
Something
Went
incredible.
to
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. So we went to Japan to celebrate the 50-year anniversary, and over there it wasn't just about the celebration; it was about the people that came together. And you know, there across the stage, there was all these different levels of people that were celebrating these amazing achievements. But what was most important to see was all from all walks of life. You had people from third world countries making it so huge. You had people, you know, that have never even touched technology, that were, you know, making this great legacy. And so, you know, you look at a company that's 50 years old, and they're so family oriented. And Mr. O brought all of his family on stage, which was beautiful and heartwarming. But they've actually got a 450-year business plan. So when you look, you know, in most countries, if you had a business for 50 years, you've hit the jackpot. But in Japan, no. It's you know, you're looking at 500-year business plan. So in light of that, we you're looking at a company that has a patented compensation plan, and I'll let you, Lisa, go into the wealth, to the finance side of that. But you've got a beautiful array of health products. So it's not just about being in business; it's about looking at your inner inner work that you need to do, because we say that our inner work is 80% and your business and strategy is 20%. And yeah, so now what else? And so also we've got beautiful water products. We've got our Anespa showers, we've got Ukons, we've now got our M Guard, like, and it's growing. You can see the growth happening. But I'm going to hand over to you to go through a little bit of the money side.
Yes, well, the money side, I will be honest, that's really what got me in, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Good on you.
They in the well, a lot of people do. I know they hold back on it, but why
Mm.
hold back? It's
No,
something that's so
money means
Mr.
freedom and choice.
Oshiro is just such a generous man, and he wants the best for all of his distributors. He doesn't have middle guys. We're it. We're the ones that do all the promoting for his business. And we absolutely love it because it offers us a lifestyle as well. So when it comes to the money side of it, for me, another reason that I actually got into it, you look really distracted.
Sorry. I'm just seeing if I should shut that door. I've got a few things going on out there.
Yeah, that's all right. We can't hear too much. Yeah, so another reason why I got into it was for the money, because I don't know if people have done Avon before, or some of those other smaller ticket sales. We're in high ticket affiliate marketing, which is the difference. So you have to make quite a few sales in order to make what we make in one sale, which I absolutely love, because for me, and being in retail all my life, you'd think it'd come easy, but I actually have to work at this just like everybody else. So we're all on a level playing field here as well. All the trainings there provided on top of everything else that's offered. So that's why I'm like so excited, when to talk about this, because the money's great, the training's there, everything is provided, and we get mentored also on such a high level. People that are worth thousands of dollars come into the platform. That's how we came across Luke Hawkins. Incredible. He's been in our platform before. So yeah, very, very generous, everything that's being offered. But yes, on the compensation side, just one sale brings in quite a few dollars. If you'd like to look further into that, I will be happy to share that compensation plan with you. We just didn't have slides today with us.
And it's something that you really need to sit down, don't you, and have a look at. There's some really beautiful, great information that's put into nice little clips, and that are really, really clear, concise, and easy to understand. So
absolutely. But it's also there's such a beautiful vision there as well, where we can actually make it to what they call legacy income. Whereas when get my words right. When you work your way up a rank or two or three, or what they say, to get into the dashes, what we call the dashes. And I'm not going to explain that right now.
Not free to dash
once
three.
You get and we're going to be there, aren't we, Fran?
Absolutely.
Once you get into that, then we're looked after by the company as such, and Magic. So yeah, like your families will be set up long after you're gone. Like, how beautiful is that? Like, I don't have to care for my voice. I don't have to worry for my family. They're going to be set up, like it's just something that's going to be handed down. And look, where I was going to start with this was the reason the money was so appealing to me is because I was actually looking for supplementary income anyway. But this is something that I can do alongside my job that I have now. It's not something that I have to completely give up my work, because I actually do get some satisfaction from that. Let's face it, I see people. It's good to see people and mingle with everybody and build connections. So I still get to do that, plus build this on the side. And hopefully one day I will kick that actually, I'm not doing 9 to 5. I tell a lie. I've actually kicked that to the curb, and I'm very proud of that. I've actually chosen to go into a casual position now and work some nights and some days, and that allows me so much more flexibility in this business to run my business during the day. So I'm very, very excited about that. I kind of look at my job like, and I'm going to say it, I look at my job as a hobby.
I
And I
love
look at
that.
my
That's
business,
fantastic.
I look at my business as my job. This is what
Mm,
I do because I love it. And everything seems to flow so beautifully because we have like-minded people in the community. We
mhm.
have so much training there, and I want to be there. I'm rushing home from work just to hop on a team call. Like, it's just fantastic. I can't explain it enough.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So commission plan, yes, please. I'm all there for that. And can I just say also, Fran, sorry, I'm taking over
No,
now.
you're right. I'm just, no, you go. It's awesome. I love hearing it.
Taking over. I've also been a florist. I
Mm,
still am a florist, but I choose the weddings and funerals that I do now. So I love to be in that position as well. But when I started my florist business, I could not start that. And that's a pretty, you can start it
mm.
pretty basically, really. A couple of fridges, your bench that you work from, all your supplies, a good car, reliable car, that sort of thing. Like, I couldn't do it under 35 grand.
Yeah, your overheads are too
And
are
this
so
here,
expensive. Mm,
this business, you can totally start at under 20 grand. There is no business model
mm,
I've ever come across that can do that and
mm.
start making a profit
And
pretty
also
much
in
straight
saying
away.
that too, like when we're talking the levels, you don't go backwards. So once you're on a level,
No,
you
yes,
stay at that. And we won't go into the fine details, but that legacy is, $5,000 US per month, not including your bonuses, not including your sales that you're making. And that can vary in so many different ways. It's not just the direct sales. But I am mindful of time. So, well,
yes,
do you want me to have a bit of a chat about maybe the health side? Because that's something that I
yes,
was
please
fell in
dive
love
into
with.
that. And
Yeah.
then we better do our special offer at the end,
Yes,
remember? Can't
absolutely.
forget
And
that.
apologies for that distraction before. It's always a way when you run something like this and someone's in the background talking on the phone, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's the joys of
Just
being
shows
able
that
to
we're
work
not.
from home.
I know.
So the health side. So
Mm.
I primarily went into I actually got the K8, which is our water machine in very simple terms. So it's hydrogen rich ionized water. And what happens when the water actually goes through this machine, and it's just pumped off the tap. I'm definitely no tradie at all, but anyone can do it. And so you basically set your machine up to the tap. You've got endless hydrogen rich ionized water, and what happens is it goes through like an electrolysis through titanium plates, and it changes the molecular construction of the water, of your H2O. So if you think about your cells in your body, you're 70% water. And if you actually think if that is able to then penetrate through each cell, you're actually becoming more hydrated. And we know that like disease is dis-ease, and dis-ease is caused from stress on the body. And whether that's, I love that placing. Whether that's from stress, and things like dehydration can be stress on the body and therefore cause disease. As another thing as well with disease is having an acidic body. So we our hydrogen rich ionized water is on an alkaline level, and we will work up to going 9.5 pH. And the really important thing to note is around that pH. Also, around me being health conscious of my body, I also use the Inespa, which connects to the shower and gives me mineralized water. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. My hair feels amazing. My skin feels amazing. Our skin is the largest organ and therefore the most absorbent, because it wants to act like a big sponge to get in those vitamins and minerals from your body. So if you're showering in, chlorine, chemical-based water, we know that's been a real talk of media, and I'm not going to go into that, but we know that there's a lot of chemicals in our water. So that's why I went into, really making sure that my body was being hydrated. So therefore, my body's not working to try and hydrate. It's actually working to heal and recover itself. Our Kangen water also has the same sort of effect on our body as like an antioxidant, and as well as a anti-inflammatory. So when you've got endometriosis and all the other things that come with that, having an anti-inflammatory is super, super, super important. So that just gives you a little rundown. And like Lisa said, you know, if you're affiliated with Lisa or you're affiliated with me, we've got loads of information we'd love to share. We get really excited about sharing it. So get in contact with us. And I think let's do you think that's enough? Do we need to go any further into any of those other ones?
I think people
The
can
health
reach
side?
out if they need any further information.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so important. And yeah, it makes it really easy to sell a product too because there's
Mm.
such fine quality products.
It
So
is fine quality, and
yeah,
the machines last for 20 plus years. So,
yeah,
you know, that's really important to think as well. So, if you're actually going to look at the business side of this, you know, we're talking about overheads and you've had your flower business, you know, you're
yeah,
looking at monthly annual payments. This is a one-time investment and that lasts you for 20 plus years. So, it's
beautiful.
yeah, it's really, really amazing. Uh, so, let's chat our offer. So if you have been affiliated with Lisa or you've been affiliated with me, then contact us. If you are going to do that before the 31st of August, we've got a great offer for you. And so if you go into the business, we're going to offer you a 6-week breakthrough program of neurotransformational therapy. Which obviously I would lead or Lisa will lead, and you will be amazed at the breakthroughs that you're actually going to have in your emotional triggers actually being eradicated, you know, self-sabotaging behaviors eradicated, and, you know, your limiting beliefs absolutely eradicated. And the confidence and the power that you step into is absolutely phenomenal. So before the 31st of August, we would love to hear from you, and we can't wait to hear from you. Do you want to add anything,
And
Lisa?
yes, don't forget that there's a free discovery call just to make sure that, you know, we're a fit for them and you're a fit for us
Mm.
and all of that because it's very important that, you know, we're on the same track.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So it's yeah, like one-on-one coaching, guys, like free, like it's valued at like 2,000 Australian dollars. It's quite
Mm.
incredible. Yeah, not to do that. So if you're looking for a business, like it ticks all the boxes, right? You're looking
Absolutely.
for
It's
a
a win-win
business or
situation.
you just want to buy the water products, you can
Mm.
totally do that too. You don't have to get started in the business. We'd love you to get started in the business, of course. But if you do just want to buy the products, you can certainly do that as well.
Excellent.
But yeah, with this neurotransformational therapy attached to that, it
Mm.
really helps to dissolve any of those limiting beliefs, those negative emotions around past traumas, things as well. They can actually stop you from going forward in this business because, you
Mm.
know, we get in our own way. We're all in our own heads saying, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I don't want to be seen on camera, which I had all of those
Oh,
just saying, and, you know, we're human. We're still working through a lot of this. So all those people that are saying, I don't have the time, I don't have the money to get started, all these things that hold us back. Um, that was me.
yeah,
Was
I
that you,
was
Fran?
terrified when I was sort of after I'd sort of like settled my health and got that back on track, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to do the business side of this. You know, I came
Yeah.
from a position of not being able to be on or not wanting to be on social media. I didn't want to be in the public eye. You
Mm,
know, I was always called on. So my social media account was next to nothing, you know, and I thought, I don't even
me
have an
too.
audience. How do I, you know? But stepping into this and having NTT on my side, that neurotransformational therapy to actually get rid of all those blockages that I had, and then being in an environment of beautiful people that hold space for you, that help you, that support you, and give you that little bit of, you know, encouragement as well, and celebrate you, you start thinking, oh, I can do this.
Yeah,
And you know,
absolutely you can.
you stuff up a
Yeah,
few times, don't you? Fail
yeah.
forward.
That's all part of it. That's all
That's
part of
it.
it. But I think you know, people appreciate it when you can be yourself a little bit more. I mean, the
Absolutely.
way you hold yourself on camera, the way I hold myself on camera, it's
Mm.
just two very different things. But I'm
Yeah.
true to myself and you're true to who you are. And
Yeah.
every single person's going to be different. So, but yeah, I just really wanted to touch on that because there's I don't know, I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I can't do what you can do. I'm like, well, neither could
Yeah.
I, but
Yeah.
I've learned along the way. And
Mm.
yeah, that community support is just incredible. So yeah, like get on board now. Now is the perfect time to get on
Mhm.
board. Right now until the end of August. We're putting an urgency on this because Fran and I are keen to make money and we know that we can make 2 grand a pop for, this NTT training on its own, like, so we're offering it to you free. So yeah, guys, get on
Absolutely.
board. Let's do
Yep.
this.
So August 31st, coming in to find the business, 6 weeks breakthrough program, free, completely added on. If you're just interested in the coaching, then also get in contact with us and we'll give you a free discovery call. So
Yeah.
thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lisa, for joining. It's been so
Yeah, thank you,
lovely.
Fran. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We look forward to hearing from you all. We'll catch you all later.
Bye.